Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is walk through time value of money and demonstrate for you using the app on the phone. Now, remember, there's only four types of problems, basically. There's the present value of a future amount. There's the future value of a present amount. There's the present value of an annuity. And there's the future value of an annuity. The only other issue that can come into play is whether it's an ordinary annuity or an annuity due. So let's take some examples and let me walk through this with you. So we'll kind of walk through each of these problems. We'll start with, just basic, simple future value of a present amount. Let's suppose that you deposit $700 into an account today. And let's say the interest rate is 7%. And you want to know what the future value is in, let's say 15 years. Okay? So there's the basic problem. And all right, so now if I go into the app, let me show you what I've done. I hope you can see this. I've opened up the app and I've got the various things I need to put in. So for example, I'm going to put in present value, well, there's the $700. Now, it's important that I put that one in. I'm going to put that in as a negative number, minus 700. Okay? Now, there are no payments. The payment area is for annuities. So there's none of that in here. The interest rate that I'm going to put in, I've already told you, it's 7%. So I'm going to put 7% interest, and then I'm going to put in for 15 years. Okay. So far, so good. Now, the problem I've got is this is set for monthly, and I don't want to do monthly. I want to do annually. So I've got to switch that out to make it annual. All right, so then I've got my present value, I've got the interest rate, and I've got the number of periods, and it's annually. And then so I'm looking for the future value, so I'll punch future value. And so that would grow over time to $1,937 or $31.32. So that's the basic setup. Now, what if I knew the future value, I knew the number of years, and I knew the present value, but I didn't know the rate? Okay, so let me take the rate out, and somebody says, okay, you put in $700 in 15 years that grew to $1,931.32 in 15 years. What rate of return did you get? So then I hit rate, and what do you know? The rate comes back as 7%. So I can really go about this in a lot of different ways. Now, to get the present value of a future amount, let's suppose, we'll change this. Let's suppose the $700 is the future value, and it's 15 years out, and you want to know the present value of that today with an interest rate of 7%. Okay, so in that case, I'm gonna reset the calculator, and so now I'm going to put in as the future value, I'm going to put in that $700, and I'm going to put the interest rate as 7%, and I'm going to put 15 years in. So now the data that I put in is this, and it's annual again, and I want to know what $700 that's going to come to me in 15 years is worth today to me. at 7%. So I hit present value, and I get back $253.71. I guess you can see that. So those are the two elementary problems that you can do. Now you'll notice that in all of these problems, one of those numbers is going to come back negative, and it depends on which one you put in as positive. If you put one in as positive, the other one's going to come back negative. It's just the way the app works. So anyway, for that particular problem, that's the way it works out. So now let's consider some annuity problems. Let's suppose that instead of just a single amount that you're putting in today, you're going to put in, as an ordinary annuity, $700, an annuity of $700 annually for 15 years at 7%. Okay? So now we're doing it, we're going about this a little bit differently. Now I'm looking at, well, what's this going to grow to? How much is this going to amount to? I'm putting in $700 every year for 15 years at 7%. Okay? So now the payments, this area that has the payments, that comes into play because now I know what my payment is. It's $700 a year. So I'm going to put payments in. I'm going to put minus 700, and the interest rate 7%, and I've got 15 years of those. Okay. So I've got all that in, and now I want to see what it's going to grow to. So I'll hit future value of that, and the future value of that now is $17,590.32. Okay? So that's compounding interest where I'm putting $700 every year in, assuming, now you'll note this, assuming that I put it in at the end of the year, that's the ordinary annuity. Now, what if it were an annuity due? Then the only thing I would have to change is down here, it says mode. I'd have to change the mode from the end of the period to the beginning of the period if it were an annuity due. Okay, that's all I would have to change. And now I'd hit future value, and now I get $18,821.64. Okay, so there I'm going forward in time. I'm compounding interest on and continuing to put $700 in the account each year. All right, so that's the future value of an annuity. Well, I could have done the same problem as the present value of an annuity. Okay. All right, so now I've got the same information in. 700 is the payment. The interest rate 7%, 15 periods annually at the end of the period. So that's an ordinary annuity. And I'm saying, well, what's the value of that today? What's the present value? Well, if I hit present value of that today, it's $6,375.54. Okay? So in this case, we're coming back to the present instead of going to the future. So this is basically the only four problems that you're going to run into when you're doing your homework. And some of the questions, some of the problems homework problems that you're working out will be problems where you're having to do piecemeal. You're having to do a piece here, a piece there, and then put it all together. So anyway, this is the way the app works. And really the trick is just to familiarize yourself with it by working a whole lot of the problems out. And I think you'll begin to catch on, and it'll make more and more sense. So I hope my video is helpful to you, and that I've shown you something more about how to use this app. We'll test the waters and see. I've got my whiteboard here, so I'll try to work some problems out from time to time and get things rolling in a little different way. It's kind of awkward, I know, but we'll make the best out of it. So until tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow morning, and we'll continue to roll through. I'll try to post this video pretty much right away. Stay on Moodle and for updates and for new content. Okay, till next time.